The long-awaited price for the Steam Machine has finally been revealed, and it is less than exciting. I would actually say it errs more on the side of disappointment, although I do think a lot of people were kind of expecting this, and even Valve themselves were kind of expecting this. And I don't want my channel to become this reactionary kind of news channel of, releases and updates and stuff like that. I do think this is pretty interesting to look at and kind of highlights a lot of what I've talked about on the channel before, which is the current hardware market and how prices kind of suck, and look what they've done. If you haven't seen the prices yet, let's go over them really quickly. You can see here that the cheapest version of the Steam Machine comes with 512 gigabytes of storage and no controller for $1,049. Again, this is not stellar. As with most things, they're going to run multiple SKUs, as you can see below me, with the most expensive option being the 2 terabyte internal storage option with a Steam controller, which is going to run you roughly $1,450. That's after tax, and of course this is all in USD, the Eagle dollar, if you will. And it sucks. I'm not here to bash on it or to bash on Valve. That's not the point of this video. I just kind of want to talk about what you get for your money and how it just doesn't really make any sense anymore. And the Steam Machine was posed to be this really great entry point into PC gaming and into Linux computing. But due to a lot of different factors, you can see that it is not an easy jumping in point for anyone, really. And somehow, every time I talk about Valve and prices, I end up wearing this t-shirt. I didn't plan it. I just happened to realize that as I'm recording now. And I'm not going to go change it because I don't want to start over. But a quick rundown for anyone unfamiliar with the Steam Machine. It is a tiny little 6-inch PC box, affectionately called the Gabe Cube by the community, which is one of the best names ever. And while it may look like a console, it is actually a gaming PC, and it runs SteamOS, which is the same exact Linux-based operating system that Valve's Steam Deck runs. The idea with it is it's a tiny little box that you can essentially plug and play to jump into the PC gaming market, to have it in your living room or in a bedroom or just hooked up next to your main computer or whatever. It was made to be more console-like, but still be a gaming PC. And the internals were interesting. They came from AMD and are kind of semi-custom, similar to what was in the Steam Deck. We had an AMD Zen 4 CPU along with an RDNA 3 GPU. And when you look at the raw power of these components, you would find that it targets 4K at 60 FPS, and from a power perspective, if you think of a scale of current hardware, and you go from, say, the Xbox Series S, which is the cheaper option from Xbox right now, and one of the worst names of all time. Then on the other hand, let's say you have a PS5 Pro, if we're just looking at the console market. The Steam Machine is going to fall somewhere above the Series S, but kind of below or right on par with the base PS5. I know that most people despise a gaming PC comparison to a console. Given the form factor and the idea of being plug and play and everything, I do think it's relevant here, so let's grit our teeth. We can get through it. The sucky thing is when you look at the current offering from Microsoft or Sony or even Nintendo, there is almost zero reason to get a Steam Machine over, an Xbox or a PS5 or a Switch 2. Let's use the PS5, for example, because that comes the closest in terms of just raw power and output. And look, I know that with a gaming PC, there's a lot more customization that you can do. You can edit the power profiles and everything like that, and that's great. I understand that. But just looking at it from a raw plug-and-play power perspective here, that was very hard to say. Really, the Steam Machine and the base PS5, they're about the same, which is great. I love my PS5, and I think it's a great piece of hardware. It is very powerful, it boots up very quickly, it loads games very quickly, and it runs them very well. The problem is the price. A base PS5, which has increased in price, I've never had a console appreciate in value in my life, so that's cool. Despite the price increase, it's still significantly cheaper than the very cheapest Steam Machine. The base PS5 is going to run you about $600 before tax. With that, you get the console and you get a controller. pretty standard stuff. And the storage on a base PS5 includes a 1 terabyte SSD. When you compare that to the Steam machine, you don't get a controller and you get half of the storage. So not only are you going to get a box that is slightly less powerful, but you don't get a peripheral with it that comes with all of the consoles, and you're also paying almost the same price as the base PS5 to get the Steam machine. And that just doesn't make any sense. Do you realize what you could get for your PS5 with $450 extra? You could buy 6 copies of Street Fighter 6 and a fight pad and a year's subscription to PS Plus to play against me online and probably beat me. That's a lot, and it's kind of crazy, which I'm using the PS5 as the example, but you can kind of just say the same exact thing for the Xbox Series S or the Xbox Series X. The Series S is going to be less powerful, but you do get a controller, and it's significantly cheaper. Or if you go with the Series X, for example, you're paying more, you're still paying less than the Steam machine, and you get a controller and more storage. But if you look on the other side of the fence in a completely different neighborhood at what Nintendo has, even their offering right now makes way more sense than purchasing a Steam machine. Now, the Switch 2 is far from being a powerhouse, and that was never what it was designed to be. Although it does pack a pretty decent punch for what you pay for it. Nintendo usually does a pretty good job, and developers do a pretty decent job of optimizing their games to run on the Switch or the Switch 2 hardware. And so you're going to be playing a lot of games at 4K, 60 FPS on a television. But then with the Switch 2, something you don't get from the Steam machine or any of the other offerings is the ability to take the console with you and play in handheld mode, which has a 1080p screen, and you can take it anywhere you want. And again, with the money that you save from purchasing a Switch 2 over the Steam machine, you can purchase a lot of games. Believe it or not, you could actually purchase 6 copies of Street Fighter 6 for your Switch 2 because the game is on there. And again, you could play me online and beat me across all 6 copies of the game, okay? I want you to look me in the eye and tell me that that's not a smoking deal. So when you compare the Steam machine against literally anything in the console market right now, there's no reason to purchase a Steam machine. And again, I know gaming PCs are different. You can tweak things, you can upgrade things, you can manipulate the power of the machine to make things run better. And that's great, and I love that. And it's running Linux, and you know I love Linux. We love Linux in this house. That's fantastic, but I'm just saying for somebody that is wanting to play games on their living room television or just have a console, downstairs when the baby goes to sleep or something like that, there's just no reason to get a Steam machine unless you already have a huge library of PC games for some reason. It just makes way more sense for your money and the power that you get to get a console. And I didn't even talk about the PS5 Pro, which again has gone up in price, but it's significantly more powerful than the Steam machine and is $200 to $300 cheaper. I don't remember the price right off the top of my head, but you're going to be saving about $200 getting a more powerful console over the Steam machine. We're done with the console comparison. You can unclench your teeth now. I just wanted to touch on that. That's just kind of the reality of the Steam machine. It looks like a console. The concept is more console-like, and so that comparison is just going to be there. Now, the bigger conversation starts when you start comparing the Steam machine, which is a gaming PC, to the current offerings in the gaming PC market, be it one that you build yourself or a pre-built. If you shop around, and you can find deals and stuff. I know it's not a one-to-one all the time, but just looking online, a quick little search that I did on my own, to match the power output of the Steam machine in a pre-built system, you're looking at about $950. Again, that's going to fluctuate a lot. Prices change all the time. You might find a better deal, but let's just say $950 is a pretty good starting spot. Now that does not include an operating system. Throw in Windows on top of that, you're literally right at the same price as the base Steam machine. But as we've talked about before, gaming on Linux and the offerings of Linux distributions now is pretty incredible. So you don't have to have Windows. And if you don't do that, then you might come in at a slightly lower price than the base Steam machine. But the catch is, if you get a pre-built where you build your own system to match it one for one in terms of power, you're going to spend slightly less money it's kind of negligible, but you do come in just a little bit under. If you spend just a touch more, let's say you wanted to weigh your options between the top-end Steam Deck, which has 2 terabytes of storage, versus a machine that you could build for around that same price, you're going to be blowing the Steam machine out of the water. I mean, even if you look at something that just has an RTX 5060 in it, that's going to outperform the Steam machine handedly. And of course, the big benefit with having your own PC or one that you built is the option to fully upgrade everything. You can just swap out the GPU and the RAM and the CPU, in a year or two. Maybe the market comes back down and all the prices come back down and you can make a significant upgrade to your machine. I doubt that's going to happen, but at least you have the option, right? If you get the Steam machine, you're kind of just stuck with what you have. And so again, when you look at who to recommend this to, when you look at a PC enthusiast or somebody wanting a console, both sides of the fence, it's really hard to make the recommendation to go with the Steam machine. But there are some positives with the Steam machine. The number one thing being the form factor. It's very small, it's very compact. You can just put it in your living room beside the TV and it's not really gonna look out of place. And then, of course, you get the added benefits over a console or over PC where you don't have to pay for Windows, but when it comes to a console, you don't have to pay for online subscriptions like Nintendo Online or PS Plus or whatever they call it now, or Xbox Live. You don't need any type of subscription to play online when it comes to a Steam machine. You just have Steam and you get the PC games and you play them online, and that saves you, whatever it is per year, $80 a year, which is pretty nice. And again, an added benefit over a console is you can change the operating system. You can tweak the operating system, change the power profile. You can do a lot more when it comes to customizing the overall ability of the Steam machine when it comes to a console. I just don't know if that really justifies the significant jump in price. And much like a PC, it's an open system, so you can kind of just do whatever you want to with it, and that's really nice. That's always an added benefit. But again, if that's your thing, I would just get a PC. I would just get a pre-built or build your own PC, and you can install Bazite on it. SteamOS is publicly available and will continue to get better, and you can just install it, make your own Steam box. You can install Arch and tell everybody that you are better than they are. We come to the big question here: who is the Steam machine for? And looking at it on paper, it's not for anybody, really. There's a small niche market for it of tech enthusiasts. That's about it. Console gamers aren't going to want to upgrade to this because it's not any more powerful than the consoles that they already have, and it is significantly more. If you look at the PC enthusiast market, it's not really for them either, because either the system that they have is already more powerful or upgradable beyond the power of the Steam machine, or you could find a pre-built that is more powerful for just a little bit more money, or you could build your own and save a few bucks. I can see people wanting it just to have that plug and play experience. They don't want to deal with Windows, don't want to deal with online subscriptions from the console companies. They just want a machine that runs games on their television. They plug it in, turn it on, and they use it. And that is a good use case for it. But I do expect it to sell out. I expect it to do very well and to be hard to get for a little bit. I think they're making it in smaller quantities as well, just due to hardware limitations. So it's going to do well. I think it'll do just fine. And if you want to get one, and I'm not trying to really convince you not to, I'm just kind of laying everything out. If you think it's great for you, get it. That's perfect. That's awesome. But for me and for many other people, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's kind of an overview of what's going on. The Steam machine was poised to be this pretty awesome, cheap option to get into PC gaming and to get into the Linux operating system and bring the Linux operating system into even more homes than the Steam Deck has. It was always going to be a little less powerful, but it was going to be cheaper. So your bang to buck ratio was going to be a lot higher. Unfortunately, all of the AI data centers and everything with the current hardware market robbed my boy of being the poster child of everyone's first full-on Linux machine. Now, unfortunately, if there ever was to be a poster child or a mascot for the last 3 to 5 years of the hardware market, it's going to be the Steam machine, because the price went way up from what everybody was expecting, and it's just a perfect reflection of where we're at with the whole hardware shortage and hardware market and stuff. Maybe it'll come down in the future. Who knows? Maybe it'll be a better deal in the future. But for now, I can't really recommend it. I'm not going to get one. But if you want one, that's great. Leave a comment down below. What do you think? Are you going to get one? Do you want one? Is it even an interest to you at all? Do you like me? Please I like when people like me. So please just continue to watch, and thank you.